So you're probably wondering what happened. My last video that I posted was my location reveal. I had so many plans after that. I was like, I'm gonna vlog all of my college program. It's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna be like Emily Enchanted. Did that happen? Not by any means. I got to my college program, I tried vlogging, and it just didn't happen. For one, all the vloggers say that check-in is super fast, and it is super fast. Like, I couldn't film anything. Like, I realized why. You just see them like in their car being like, I'm at check-in, and then they're out and they're like, program guiding key. Like, it happened that fast, and it really happens that fast. It's insane. So I didn't vlog. I tried to. I filmed some things, but it just didn't go. It either didn't go well together, or it wasn't long enough to be a video on YouTube. So it just never really happened for me. Will I try again in the future? Yes. Will I be successful? Yes. We're gonna be positive. It's 2020. We're gonna be positive. But I'm talking with my hands. It was hard. But you didn't click on this video for my life story. You clicked because you applied for the Disney College program and you scheduled your phone interview and you're nervous as all heck. So I'm here to help you. I've come up with a few tips on your phone interview, what to do, how to prepare for it, all that jazz. And here they are. I'm gonna start with something simple. So for starters, have a pen and paper with you, because during your interview, you're going to be talking with your interviewer and you're going to think of things and you're going to want to get back to those things. So I would just write down any thoughts, questions that you have during your interview, and at the end of the interview, you could go back to those notes. Make sure that your phone is able to receive calls from blocked or unknown numbers. Your interviewer is going to call you and it'll come up as blocked or unknown ID, unknown caller, whatever your phone does. That is your recruiter. Your phone interview could start up to 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after the scheduled phone call. So if it's scheduled for 1 o'clock, it could start at 12:45 or 1:15. Third tip, be in a quiet place. My first phone interview was great. No interruptions, awesome. Second phone interview, I was in school and I thought, oh, I could just go into a practice room and it'll be fine. No, I was incorrect. People were noisy. I guess I forgot chorus people sing really loudly, but we made it through, right? Like that's all that matters. But yeah, just make sure you're in a quiet place where you're able to focus and relax and meditate and all that good vibes stuff. Third tip, when you answer the phone, your interviewer will introduce themselves, and my paranoid self is going to suggest that you write down their name as soon as they say it. They say their name is Annabeth, you write interviewer Annabeth, or just write the name Annabeth. As long as you are able to know it, it's fine. No, you do not have to repeat their name after everything you say, after every pause. Nothing. Nope, I did not. The only thing I would just suggest doing is at the end of your interview, when you're about to hang up the phone, just be like, thank you, Annabeth. Have a great day. Thank you for everything. Done. All finished. One thing that I should have said in the beginning is really important to the phone interview process, and that is to smile. Your interviewer will be able to hear the difference between, I really want to work for Disney, it's my favorite place in the whole world, and I just really want to make magic. They could distinguish that from, well, Disney is my favorite thing in the world and I'd really like to work there and make magic. They know the difference, I promise. So just make sure you're smiling through your interview, they can hear it, and you'll be fine. Next tip. Know what roles you put interest in and what level of interest you put in them. You could talk about them in level of importance. And if you come across one that if your interviewer says like, oh, and I see you put this one on interest, and you're like, now that you're thinking about it, because it's probably been like a few weeks or a month since you applied and you're like thinking back and you're like, no, I actually don't think I'll be interested in that one. You could tell them that. Do not be afraid. It will not hinder anything. You just say, now that I'm having time to think about it, I've realized that I don't believe that role would actually be great for me. Is it possible to not have that role be considered? And they will be more than happy to help. At the end of the day, they want you to be comfortable in your role, and they're going to try to put you in the best place possible for you. Next tip. Know that your interviewer will ask a few scenario questions about each role, if not just a few of them. For my interview, I was asked scenario questions about attractions and character attendant. In attractions, I was asked, what would you do if you were working in Space Mountain and a kid wanted to get on but he wasn't quite tall enough to ride the ride? What would you do? And I said that I would, for one, apologize and then explain to them that the ride is not quite ready for them yet, and would go on to suggest rides that are in their height range and explain how much cooler they are than Space Mountain and just get them pumped up to ride another ride. And if I could, I would try to squeeze in some fast passes for their family for that ride, just alleviate some stress about the current situation. For character attendant, they asked me what I would do if a child really wanted to meet Pluto, but he had to go on break. I would tell him that Pluto really had to go to the bathroom, and he had to go on a walk with Mickey, but he'll be back as soon as possible. Or I could say something like, Pluto got really hungry and he had to go dig up the bone that he had in Mickey's backyard, but he'll be back as soon as he finishes eating. Just make up a story, because you're going to be doing a lot of that in this job, I promise you that. Another thing your interviewer is going to bring up is past work experiences, how it correlates to the roles that you put interest in, what you learned from that you could bring to Disney, things like that. Try to incorporate the 4 keys as much as possible. Don't be stressed about incorporating each one of them. You could just do safety or efficiency. Even one is fine. Just try to incorporate some kind of level of the 4 keys, which are safety, efficiency, show, and courtesy. If there is a role that you have the most interest in, that you just really want, don't be afraid to go after it. For instance, my last interview, I pushed for attractions. I told her that attractions was my dream role. It has been since I was a little girl, since my first time going to Disney. Like, I wanted to make magic and I wanted to do it in a ride. Like, I needed it in my life. And I got it. So just by any means, do not be afraid to push for things that you'd like, because this is your program, it's your experience, and they want to do the best for you. And with that being said, it is also possible to request a location. Just know that it is not guaranteed, and it is based on the season, and it is based on the demand that they have for each location and position. It is not going to be based on how early in the season you applied or anything like that. That does not matter. They're just solely focusing on the demand for the parks. Next tip, don't be pressured to ask any questions after the interview. Your interviewer is going to end the call with, do you have any questions for me? You could easily say, no, that was all. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that's it. Or you could ask questions. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. If you found a few questions that you actually want to ask, go for it. Now is the time. But if you honestly just don't have any questions, you don't have to ask. If you don't know what to ask, but you really want to ask something, because that's how I am. Like, I didn't have any questions, but I wanted to ask questions because I'm paranoid and I think of every little thing. I've come up with a few questions that you could ask. Question 1. Can you tell me about the volunteering opportunities that the DCP offers? Second question. When will I be able to enroll in classes and lectures for college credit? Question 3. What is your favorite part about being a recruiter? Question 4. Have you ever had a magical moment? Question 5. What do I have to do to become a recruiter in the future? Final tip. Relax. It's okay to be nervous. Don't let it scare you. This is your moment, your program, your phone interview, and it's something that you've most likely been waiting a very long time for. So it is perfectly fine to be nervous. They understand it. They know it's happening. Just be yourself and it'll be perfectly fine. And Disney is going to be so happy to have you. With that being said, I'm going to end the video here. I hope any of these tips help you out. And if you have any other questions, just leave them down in the comments below, or you can message me on social media. My handles will be in the description below. And yeah, that's all I have. Have a magical day, everyone. So I'm gonna know what interest